Hello everyone, this is Bad Fanfiction Platinum Billy with our very first story.
Okay, so this is Resident Evil Stay Alive by X Claire Bear X. Now, I found this several years ago back when I was first getting into the Resident Evil fandom. I didn't know anything. I, of course, was like 14 at the time. I didn't know good and bad fan fiction from each other. Then I come back after I start playing the games, and I'm like going, what the hell is this crap? Anyway, so this is the description. Stuck in a game, Rick and I have to survive and beat them all in order to get back. We encounter all the cool characters and try to keep a low profile, although I'm a very outspoken person. Dun dun dun! Chapter 80 is up. Sorry for wait.
That means this fic is not over. It started in July of 05. Now, I've read only like the first two paragraphs, so this is going to be a half blind read and half know what's going to be going on. So there's going to be me basically going, what the heck?
And meanwhile, I'm just like, I can't believe I used to think this was good when I was that young. Oh my god, I was so stupid.
Okay, so I'm going to throw that out there. I played Resident Evil 4, 1, Outbreak 1 and 2, and I played a little bit of 5, and I've read Let's Play threads of 0, 1, and 2. So I'm random information of Resident Evil.
For me, I've played 0, 1, the remake made for the GameCube, 2, 3, Code Veronica X, the Outbreak games, Revelations 4, 5, and both the Chronicles games. I have not played 6, so I've seen bits and pieces of walkthroughs.
And I've also seen the 2 CGI movies.
I've seen Degeneration, not Damnation yet, unfortunately. Yeah.
So
that's what you know about our
background. So I'm going to be doing the first chapter, so hopefully I can get it through without stumbling too much. So let's begin. The beginning. Author notes. Hey guys, this is my second story, but of Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil so much. But anyway, this story here is humor with no romance.
My ass.
I'm going to try and cover all the games and the movies as well. The reason my brother is in this game too is because it's dedicated to him. Please enjoy. Okay, chapter 1. So we're stuck in the middle of nowhere?
Note, there's also random capitals in that sentence for no apparent reason.
I have a feeling we're going to have a random drink addition to this game. We have Mountain Dew! Okay, anyways.
Oh dear, it's gonna be wild.
Okay, as I watch my brother Rick. Already my speech is becoming a problem. Anyways, as I watch my brother Rick play Resident Evil on the family TV, I could be found watching intently on a gray beanbag. I was playing... He was playing the first game with the character Jill Valentine because she was faster than Chris Redfield, although not as strong.
That's true, technically. She moves faster, but she can't take as much damage over the long run.
My brother always preferred agility over strength. He suddenly let out a mumbled curse as he lost to the tyrant. Again, poor guy. His ego can't take much more of this.
Mumbled curse when playing video games. I'm a little confused here. That does not happen.
Usually with the original Resident Evil, what I've seen, curses. Curses all the way.
Especially when dealing with the tyrant. It's very powerful.
Rick was a pretty tall guy, in my opinion. Why do we care? Seriously, why do we care? Standing at a height of at least 6'3". Okay, to be truthful, 6'3" is kind of tall.
And that's not really in my opinion.
That's stating he is tall. I consider 6'3" is tall. I'm 5'8", and 6'3" is tall.
I'm 5'1", but that's just, yeah.
I suppose it isn't as unusual as I think it is, considering he was 22. But since I was only 5'4", he always looked like some kind of giant. Being the simple 15-year-old I was, I could only describe him as mixed between Chris and Wesker, but with longer hair.
I'm assuming this just means physical appearance and not personality characteristics in slice, because they are complete opposites in most regards.
Homicidal and an idiot.
Yeah. Well, they're both idiots. I suppose that is similar.
I'd like to say he was as strong as those guys, but he does go to the gym. I feel like there's something missing in that sentence.
Ditto.
So he was in pretty good shape for his age. Sometimes I'd go to the gym as well, but my oldest sister likes to say that I'm SpongeBob SquarePants compared to him. The only thing that could be considered similar to him in appearance are my blue eyes, I guess. That should say our blue eyes.
Oh, wait. Is she talking about him as in SpongeBob or him as in her brother? Because it's a little hazy. It's an ambiguous antecedent, which you don't do when writing. Admittedly, the author was 13 at the time when she started writing this. Like her current age description, blah blah blah. Yeah.
I think I have just my problem with that whole sentence. My blue eyes. It's like if you're describing both your eyes, it should be ours, because if they're the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I try? I asked. First there was red, bloody letters on the TV screen. Flash, you died. And in a moment, white letters appeared with retry and quit.
Which is inaccurate.
He gave me the controller with his foot. I think he's getting grumpy.
It's random tense switches, but the thing is, the no version of RE1 outside of the Umbrella Chronicles Light Edition, and given when this was published, that wouldn't have even existed back then, has no edition of RE1 would have a continue screen. Period. No, not RE1, not Deadly Silence, and not the remake for the GameCube or the Wii. God damn it.
Sure, I'll be back in a moment, he said, and went down the stairs to the left of me. Rick has a habit of always gulping down a water bottle every hour he's awake. We were playing upstairs because my mother had some of her colleagues over for coffee. I have a problem with the water bottle. I know this is nitpicking, and you're probably going to say, why are you stopping and reading and nitpicking? That's what we do. Yeah. Anyways, how much water is he drinking? Because if you drink too much water, of course, there's water poisoning, but
you must have to piss like a Russian racehorse.
Well, also, when you drink too much water, it takes the vitamins out of your body, so it's quite dangerous. So it's just like, water is good, but water, like most things in life that you put in your body, moderation.
So I would argue that's probably just the author, the character is supposed, well, not is supposed to. The author's apparently unaware of this. The character is probably, very short-sighted, or it's just that the character thinks that's really like he's drinking all this water when he isn't drinking all that much. But the story, given the way the author treats it, it's as though the narrator is always right, which is a common staple in Mary Sue and Gary Stu stories.
Okay.
Worse, by the way.
Fun. Okay, I said. I was to press retry when Rick asked me if I wanted something to drink. I nodded and mumbled a thanks as I continued to watch the game. Are you in a cutscene or are you playing it? 'Cause what?
Well, and then there's also the issue of random tense issues everywhere.
Because it's like I don't okay, I watch a game when I play it, but I play it because I'm moving. That's just how I think it. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him nod and smile before he went downstairs. I looked at the white letters again. It would be so cool to actually fight zombies with Jill and Chris. Distracted with that thought, I sat there with an unintelligent expression on my face for a bit. Funny, that's how I feel right now.
I think our brain cells are quickly dying.
I suddenly realized I had been sitting like that the whole time as I heard Rick come back up the stairs in his quick, distinct manner. I looked at the screen and yelped when I saw I was being eaten by 2 zombies. He laughed when he saw the "you died" flash on the TV.
Okay, nitpick time. In the laboratory in RE1, in both the remake and the original version, when you're in the laboratories near the very end, what replaces all the zombies are chimeras, not zombies. Okay, I suppose there could be a zombie or 2, but that would be if you didn't eliminate them, which is not in your best interest. Normally, by that point in the game, when you're running up to fight the tyrant for the second time, you would have all had, long before then, dispatched the zombies. Ugh. And again, you died. It flashes in 0. It flashes in Code Veronica. It doesn't. I think it's "you are dead" in both. Yeah, it is in both the original and the remake of the first game.
Mockingjay is getting rather ticked.
Yeah.
I'm not being sarcastic. Trust me, people, once we're getting into bad Silent Hill fanfiction,
Oh dear.
you'll see me raging.
Oh.
Anyways, let's continue. Scared, he taunted. I glared at him. No way, I was just daydreaming, I said slowly while realizing how stupid that sounded. He chuckled. I handed the controller back to him begrudgingly. He sighed at my behavior and gave me a water bottle. Hey, Chris, I started, but stopped when he looked at me funny. Oh, I mean, Rick. Sorry, I said, laughing. My mind had apparently wandered again. He raised an eyebrow. Right, why didn't you play Resident Evil 0 first, I asked. He cleared his throat and I lay back on the bright green couch. Since I was sprawled on a lower elevation, I had to twist my head to look at him.
Okay, I'm really having issues. What position is she in? Oh my god.
I want to know what position he's in. Is he standing? Because you don't normally... okay, I guess for me, I don't try to give controls to people who are standing because I don't want the cord to my control to get all funny.
Yeah.
I already beat it at Joe's house, he answers before taking a drink from his water. I nodded and made a sound at the back of my throat. Joe was one of his best friends. For some reason, I got a chill and looked back at the TV. Rick pressed the X button and nearly fell off the couch from surprise.
X, which means it's PS1 edition, not GameCube edition, I would think. Because the GameCube edition with selection would be the A button. Unless he changed the controls, which is unusual. I don't think that works for the control schemes. Like, there's several control schemes and none of them. Yeah. I'm being nitpicky, okay? It's keeping me somewhat from going, oh god. Head, wall, head, wall.
No alcohol will be consumed during this chapter.
Obviously.
A blinding white light had sprung from the TV and engulfed us. Rick quickly leapt from the couch to me. Wasn't she on the couch also?
She was on the beanbag.
But she said she was on the couch. Like, he cleared and lay back. Sorry, that was a little hard to understand. He tried to cover me from the odd light, probably thinking the TV was exploding. There was some kind of rumble and I felt dizzy for a moment. But after a while, the trembling of everything around us ceased.
Seized.
Size? Is that seized?
It's seized.
What? Everything around... Okay, shouldn't it be everything around us stopped?
Yeah.
Because it's like...
She didn't proofread, I don't think. Wait, she does say in the author's notes that she didn't proofread several times.
Apparently she's getting arrested.
Well, both of them are getting arrested, apparently, because of an exploding TV thing. I'm confused.
The government. Rick, I asked, feeling incredibly nervous. Rick moved to get up, and I let out a sigh of relief that he was okay. I think it's okay, he responded, looking around confused. Yeah.
It's?
I think it's okay. I think it is okay.
No. It's like, I think I'm okay would make more sense. Whereas I think it's okay is like talking about something else.